Save big money on your next project right now at Menards. From smoke and carbon monoxide alarms to fire extinguishers and more, Kidde home safety products keep your family protected in case of emergencies. Smoke and carbon monoxide alarms are perfect for your living spaces and doubles the detection and protection. Save big money on all Kidde products at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
In Georgia, a fisherman with a magnet dredges up some new evidence in a Georgia couple's killing.
No doubt.
A 74-year-old arrested for bank robbery is possibly a scam victim. We'll tell you about that. And a former cop kills his ex-wife and his teen girlfriend. These stories and more coming at you today, Monday, the 29th of April on Real Life Real Crime Daily, and I'm Jim Chapman.
And I'm Woody Overton.
And
April's almost done, son.
It's almost done, man.
It's flying by.
The older I get, the quicker it goes.
Yes, time flies when you're having fun, and I hope everybody enjoyed the beautiful weekend. And I don't know. I hope we're pre-recording, but I hope our bestie won.
I do too. I'm sure. You know, the great thing about the Big Buddy stuff is, you're really a winner.
Everybody's
no matter what. Yeah. But Lori can dance.
Yeah, so she can dance.
Wouldn't surprise me.
She's put in a lot. This is not just show up and jitterbug. But they've been working on this for a long time. Months.
And months. So hopefully I'll have some good news for everybody on our Wednesday show.
Speaking of good news, congratulations.
Well, thank you very much.
You're going to be the keynote speaker at the National Prayer Day breakfast.
That's right. For the mayor. The mayor holds an annual national prayer breakfast every year for National Prayer Day.
The mayor of Denham Springs, I'm sure other mayors do it too.
Yeah, it's throughout the country. It's actually a great thing, Woody, in that the whole point of National Prayer Day is to bring all faiths together and everybody kind of get together and pray at the same time. And they have a speaker that speaks on their relationship with God and what led them to their relationship with God. And I was absolutely blown away and totally honored and humbled to be asked to lead the mayor's prayer breakfast.
I've attended these in the past, and Willie Graves, when he was the sheriff here, was the biggest proponent of it and everything else. And it's, they serve volunteers come in and serve fire camp pancakes and whatever else for breakfast, and everybody gets to eat and get a word in before they go about their day. But being asked to speak at that it's a big honor, and I'm proud of you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I hope I don't embarrass us.
No, you won't embarrass. You're natural to public speaking. You know that. So let's get down to some true crime time for the last time for the month of April 2024.
Perfect. And we are going to Georgia. And look, magnet fishing becoming a thing. Yes. It's going to be on ESPN pretty soon. I can feel it.
Real quick before you begin the story, Mama Karen Ortolano, who retires the matron here for Lewis Parish Jail, and I worked with her.
We love Mama Karen.
She, I think her significant other Boudreaux, she had bought him one of these fishing magnets. So she was telling me something about it, and they said you wouldn't believe the stuff that you find dragging along the bottom.
I'm going to tell you, it's something I want to try really bad. Right. Ain't no telling what you'll pull up, and that's what our story is going to get into. Right. Someone using a magnet to fish for metal objects in a Georgia creek pulls up a rifle as well as some lost belongings of a couple found slain in the same area more than 9 years ago. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation say driver's license, credit cards, and other items dragged from the Horse Creek, which is in rural Telfair County, are new evidence in a murder case that's still awaiting trial. A citizen who was magnet fishing in the creek discovered a .22 caliber rifle.
Nice.
The unnamed person returned to the same spot 2 days later and made another find, a bag containing a cell phone, a pair of driver's license, and credit cards.
Must have been some of the new metallic credit cards.
Must have been.
Right? Because a metal, or maybe there was a metal clasp on whatever.
Possibly. Maybe the bag had some metal on it, but it very well could have been. The agency said the license and credit cards belonged to Bud and June Runyon. The couple was robbed and fatally shot before their bodies were discovered off of a county road. This was back in January of 2015. Authorities say the couple made a 3-hour drive from Atlanta to Telfair County to meet someone offering to sell Bud a 1966 Mustang.
Nice.
Classic car, right? A few days later, investigators arrested Ronnie J. Towns, on charges of armed robbery and murder. They say Towns lured the couple to Telfair County by replying to an online ad, and that the 69-year-old Bud Runyon had posted the ad seeking a classic car. Though Towns did not own such a vehicle. Georgia courts threw out his first indictment over problems on how the grand jury was selected, a prolonged legal battle that concluded in 2019. Towns was indicted a second time in 2020, and that case was delayed by COVID. He has pled not guilty. Court proceedings have also likely been slowed by a prosecutor's decision to seek the death penalty, which requires extra pretrial legal steps.
Right.
Correct? Towns' defense attorney, he didn't have any comment on all of this, of course, when they found all this evidence.
What you going to say? Right?
Yeah, what are you going to say? But
I know what he's going to say. Somebody else planted it, right?
Yeah, exactly. But this has all been traced back to this murder. And look, this guy's already kind of had 2 strikes of luck in his trials. And this may be the evidence that puts him away. And who would have thought 9 years later someone would pull up and then have the wherewithal to turn it in?
Right, right.
You know, instead of just keeping it or, or tossing it back.
And think about this. You're a magnet fisher, right?
Yeah.
You find a 22 rifle, you might be tempted to keep it or whatever, but here's a newsflash, people. People don't throw 22 rifles in the water for no reason. Now, you could have been in your boat in South Louisiana trying to shoot a gator and dropped it or whatever, but this is right where you could pull over and throw your shit in the water. But it goes back and it finds the credit cards and stuff, and thank goodness he's a good citizen and turned the stuff in, right?
Right. And I'm glad it looks like this guy's going to spend, he may get the death penalty over this.
And that's why, they said they threw out the first voir dire and what have you, and they're erring on the side of caution because they're looking for the death penalty, as in they should get it.
Absolutely.
I mean, killing these people over nothing, really. I mean, a tangible object of the 66 Mustang.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Magnet fishing, I wish I had time enough for another hobby because I would seriously take that up.
It sounds like fun. And, you just said this about possibly – there are situations where a gun might go overboard in a boat. Have you ever lost anything fishing? Like fell out of the boat?
Yeah, I've lost shit, but usually I dive in and can find it. But I've lost stuff. I can't remember specific things.
Yeah.
But I know it happens.
Yeah.
Specifically like running down the river and losing a hat when you go back and like, fuck it, it's gone.
Yeah.
But a rifle? No, I can't say I ever lost a rifle.
I lost my wallet once.
Really?
Yeah. What happened was we were fishing. It was me and a buddy. It's a little 15-foot bateau. We were fishing we were in Lake Verret, which is
great catfishing.
Great catfishing, but also known for its gators.
Yeah, yeah.
And we were down a canal, and Woody, when I tell you there were gators on both sides of the bank, there were probably 50 of them. Yeah. And there were a bunch in the water. And, when you're 19 or 20, however old we were then, you'd cast, try to hit them in the head, do dumb stuff like that. Well, I had my wallet sitting on top of my tackle box, and I accidentally hit my tackle box, and it went in the water. And my initial reaction was jump in the water and get it. And I looked over, and there was 2 big gators. Yeah. And all you could see was their eyes. They're in that water. And I said,
go ahead and get that wallet.
You can keep that wallet.
Go get that wallet, boy.
Yeah, I wasn't jumping in that water. That's the only thing I've ever lost.
Hey, maybe if it was if your wallet was alligator skin,
Yeah.
you know, you could say you're returning it to the deep.
That's right.
Like
There wasn't nothing in it anyway. I was 19, but I had $1.
Right. And a condom.
Yeah, a condom. Old one.
Like Roy and Kristen with Louisiana Pet Crematory got the new boat where they can take out your pets and
that's right.
give you the longitude and latitude, the GPS coordinates, and the video burying your pet at sea, the ashes, right? So
that's right. It's a big deal under that big American flag in Broussard,
Louisiana.
Love the two Kristens of Roy.
The tagline is always "Rest easy."
That's right.
All right. Very interesting story. And swim has stories about gators. You just can't tell. And,
yeah.
But you know what? That kind of would have been, it's not a cold case because they tried it, et cetera, but maybe if they hadn't found the weapon and the credit cards and been able to tie it through video footage, however they did it, maybe it would have gone cold, right?
Right.
Cold case. But I'm going to take you to old cold case. Well, I guess cold cases are old, some older than others. This one was 24 years old, y'all.
Golly.
And guess how it got solved?
Can't wait to hear.
Dude told himself.
Ooh.
Well, let me tell you about it. So, a West Virginia man recently admitted to the cold case killing of a 10-year-old girl and her mom in 2000, and he died the same day that their bodies were found.
Oh, my gosh.
Right? So, Larry Webb.
On his deathbed.
On his deathbed confession, actually. Larry Webb, who was in his 80s, died at the Mount Olive Correctional Complex in Fayette County on Monday, just 6 hours before the remains of victims Susan and Natasha Alex Carter were discovered. The two victims had not been seen since August the 8th of 2000, when Susan was 41 years old and Natasha was 10, right?
Right.
So when the Carters went missing, Susan was in a custody battle with Natasha's father, and reportedly told him that she had never let him see his daughter again. And authorities say that the two were living in Webb's house at the time. And the case was cold for over 2 decades when the FBI began reinvestigating in 2021, and authorities eventually executed search warrants at Webb's home in 2022 and again in 2023. And he was indicted in November and arrested earlier this month and was being held without bond. At Tuesday's press conference, the Raleigh County prosecuting attorney said Webb was dealing with a financial issue when he shot and killed the Carters. And they have the pictures of this beautiful young girl. He said the reason that he shot Susan Carter was that he had some cash money that was in the home that he went back for, and that cash money was missing. He began to go through his finances and that he suspected that Susan Carter had spent a lot of money, and they had an argument about it, and he shot her. I mean, you argue with her, and even if you shoot her, why shoot the 10-year-old baby?
Right.
Webb killed the mother before shooting Natasha to avoid detection for having killed Susan Carter. And the killer also told investigators that he had hid the victims' bodies.
Oh my God.
Y'all, this is a national news report by Fox, right? So state police in West Virginia were instrumental in solving the cold case. Once he had killed both individuals, he had stored them in the basement of the home where he cried himself to sleep that night, according to him, right?
Yeah.
And then over the course of the next 2 nights, he dug a shallow grave in the woods on his property. He did tell investigators that he buried both Susan and Alex Carter together in the same grave, and he buried them in their clothes. That has been vetted, and that's consistent with what we found over the course of the last 24 hours, and that's what the cops are saying.
Yeah.
And on Tuesday, officials from the West Virginia State Police said the confession was made during the first week of April. And they said he was on his deathbed and looking to come to Jesus at that point, right? Wow.
Well, at least I guess I'm happy that he confessed to it.
Yeah, the baby's dad, they had a quote from him, and he was thankful for that. But I don't know, man. 10-year-old, and
Who had nothing to do with
it. Cried over him, and yeah, how fucking cold do you have to be to dig a hole on your own property, put the mom in, put the baby, the 10-year-old in with him, and cover him up, and then you live with it all these years?
Evil in this world.
Yeah,
Evil.
Hopefully, he got his business straight.
Yeah. What a story. And something that unfortunately we cover way too much on this show. And y'all, crazy.
It goes to show on these cold cases, just like Miss Barbara Blunt's, please continue to call in your tips.
Yes.
Somebody knows something. This guy did it on his own, but at least he confessed in the end. In Miss Barbara Blunt's case, somebody knows something, and we've gotten some really good tips lately. And I forget to mention, I should mention on every show, y'all please continue to call in your tips. You never know what's going to be the one that busts the case wide open.
That's right. That's right. And so we're going to go to Ohio.
Buckeye State, Joe Burrow.
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking.
I went to college at Ohio State, and I played football at LSU.
That is quoted. That is quoted. And we're going to tell you about a 74-year-old woman who robbed a bank.
Here we go.
So this one ought to perk you up. This 74-year-old woman is accused of robbing an Ohio bank at gunpoint, and they are finding out that she may have been a victim of online scammers. And y'all, this is becoming a huge issue. I'm going to tell you a little side story after we're done here of another issue that I've heard of recently. But the Fairfield Township Police say 74-year-old Ann Mayers could very well have been a victim before she became a suspect in that robbery. Definitely not a typical demographic you would expect to be robbing a bank.
Right,
this from the police. Yeah, Mayers did not have a criminal history until police say she robbed a credit union last week. She walked into the bank with a gun and demanded money from employees. Police say she received $500, which was later recovered. Police body cam footage shows officers arriving at her home just hours after the robbery. The 74-year-old remained calm and cooperative as police confirmed that her vehicle in the driveway was the same one she used to rob the bank. Police do say they found a handgun in that car. Mayers was taken into custody without incident. Police say she admitted to the robbery after she was arrested and as captured on body camera footage. So the police, the guy investigating was Officer Mayers. He said, I did whatever you hear, or Mayers, she said, I did whatever you're here for. The officer responded, what would that be? And she responded, robbery.
Yeah. Wow. Can't get any more straightforward than that.
No, that's a confession for you. The police say it appears Mayers was facing a financial hardship and wasn't the only one believed to be trying to steal money. Seems as though, the way I understand it, she had been communicating with some people online who may have been scamming her. A very common theme. Unfortunately and tragically, we see that a lot with elderly victims being scammed out of large amounts of money. Yeah. It seems like this is the case here, and police say she's charged with aggravated robbery and faces 10 to 15 years in jail. Let me say this on all that, and we mentioned Lori Johnson earlier, but I don't know if anybody on earth that cares more about elderly scams than her.
Yeah, well,
she is a big fighter.
For those of y'all who don't know, she's vice president of
Hancock Whitney Bank.
And, but go ahead.
Well, we've talked, and right. She, of course, she can't say names or anything like that, but she's filled me in on some of these scams, and she knows of some that they didn't necessarily happen at her bank, but issues
they
where
train up on them too. Yeah.
People would walk in, Woody, and these elderly people, and they're 80 years old, and they say, we're here to withdraw all our money. Mm-hmm. And these bank folks, they're trained to ask questions because that's not normal.
Right.
Well, with the advent of the currency, the digital currency,
Bitcoin stuff,
that is becoming a big issue with scams, especially because what they'll do is they'll have people withdraw this money, turn it into Bitcoin,
and it's gone,
and then send it, and it's gone at that point.
Untraceable.
Your bank will never ask you to do anything that seems weird.
Right.
If it's something out of the ordinary, it's a scam. But they prey on these people that are 70 and 80 years old that just don't know.
Back in my day, it was more common for the gypsies to do it, and whether it be the driveway scams or they knock on they notice old people that live there, right? And they'll knock on the door and say, "Oh, we put in your septic tank X amount of years ago. We're going to charge you $39, and we need to reinspect it." And then they come back and say, "Give me $3,900." And they're like, "Say no, you said it was $39." So they said, "No, it's $3,900." And they get aggressive with them, and they're like, "I don't have that kind of money here, but let's go to your bank." And they would take them to the bank, right? And a lot of times the bank would be the one that notified us. But now with this online shit, look, the minute that money's transferred to Bitcoin, that shit is gone.
It's gone.
You can't get it back. Nobody can trace it. That's what the allure of Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies are. Yeah. Recently, my mom was having some work done on one of their rental properties, and my buddy was the one doing the work. He's him and his crew, and she left him a check, for a couple $1,000s. And he went to the bank to cash it, and thankfully, well, not thankfully because there was nothing wrong, but the bankers called my mama. And said, "Did you write this check?" Well, my mom's 83 years or 82 years old, and did you write this check? They want to make sure it wasn't a scam.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the good and bad in every profession, it might be a teller that's having a bad day and just doesn't give a fuck, and then let it go through. But this lady, who's going to prosecute a 74-year-old lady?
Yeah.
She might have dementia or something. Who knows?
That's right. And watch out. And I'm sure I know all of our listeners do, but watch out for your parents and maybe your elderly neighbors, and make them feel confident in communicating with you.
Especially when I used to work this case, and it reminds me, I should tell some of these on the original Real Life of Crime, they would just intimidate them. Yeah, right? And the people just want them to go away. I talked to the victims after, and they're like, "I just want them to go away."
Yeah, that's so horrible.
Yeah, it is horrible.
Preying on the other.
Hey, y'all, changing my wardrobe from summer to fall, it's never easy. Luckily, Quince offers timeless and high-quality items I adore. Ensure my wardrobe stays fresh and I don't blow my budget. And there's nothing easier than going to Quince and choosing these high-quality items, like cashmere sweaters from $50, pants for every occasion, washable silk tops, and so much more. The best part? All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes, and I love that. I got the stainless steel Link Apple Watch band for $59.90. It's heavy duty, it's awesome, and it's like $100 less than I could find anywhere else. And I also got a 100% organic cotton fisherman quarter zip up sweater. The color is alabaster. Man, I can't wait to wear that this fall. And Cindy got the Mongolian cashmere boat neck sweater in heather gray. And I'm telling you, these are classic pieces at a fraction of the price. Make switching seasons a breeze with Quince's high-quality closet essentials. Go to quince.com/RLRC for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/RLRC to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/RLRC. You'll thank me later. Hey, ladies, are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? Well, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living in our environment right now. It's in your food, your water, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, your skincare products. They all mess with your hormones. Then there's the natural hormone changes your body goes through, premenopause, menopause. And while it's a natural process, it doesn't mean you have to suffer through it. The good news is you don't have to suffer through it anymore, because now you have hormone harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone Harmony is not just a hormone support and supplement, it's become a phenomenon. Women can't stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. And the biggest benefit? Well, my wife says it makes her feel like her own self again. And that's what women mention over and over in the reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC for 15% off today. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC. Well, let me tell you now, I don't do long stories, right?
Right. There's no such thing, would you?
Yeah, right. But this one's going to be a little bit longer, and y'all, it is crazy. And we have the pictures, and I'm thumbing through it. We have the pictures of the bad guy and the victims and stuff, and y'all are just hold on to your whatever you can hold on to when you hear this. So Amber Rodriguez was terrified. Now, again, I was reading Fox News when I came across this. It needs to be told. Amber Rodriguez was terrified in the weeks before her death and had been granted an order of protection against Elias Huzar, her ex-husband, and he is accused now of fatally shooting her outside the elementary school where she worked. Wait, guess what? He's accused of shooting her and killing her outside the elementary school where she worked on the same day his teen girlfriend was found dead in Washington State.
Sick. Right?
So let's get into it. So Rodriguez had filed for divorce from Huzar in December of 2020. And their friend Tara Simmons was appointed as the guardian and or ad litem in the divorce proceedings to handle the custody issues, involving their kids and shit, right? Mm-hmm. So, but Rodriguez was killed outside of the William Wiley Elementary School in West Richland on Monday, a little over a year after her divorce was finalized, which is crazy. Court documents state that a gunman wearing black clothing and a black hat shot Rodriguez, who was 31 years old, as classes were being let out shortly before 3:30 p.m. The pair's 9-year-old son witnessed the killing.
Oh, my gosh.
And they have one other child together. Later that same day, police found the body of a 17-year-old Angelica Santos, who was described by police as Huzar's girlfriend. Right? Figure it out. So police said at Police said at a news conference Wednesday that they did not have a motive for the slaying of Rodriguez, but there were some domestic matters that were pending in court. And we have a picture of this.
Yeah, and we'll post it online.
But anyway, evidently Rodriguez, y'all had safety concerns throughout her divorce and had recently been granted an order of protection for 1 year. Kind of like a temporary restraining order we have here.
Yeah.
But so I can go tomorrow saying you're harassing me. I can get a TRO slapped on you. You have to have a court hearing. The judge decides whether that should become a permanent PRO, permanent restraining order, what have you. Right. But she got one at least for a year, right? Maybe the judge figures it's going to calm down. But she was terrified. She was terrified, said Simmons, who last spoke to Rodriguez a few weeks ago. And according to Simmons, Rodriguez had sought a protection order against her ex-husband, but it was denied. And after Simmons connected her with a local attorney, the order was granted.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have an attorney like in Louisiana to get a protective order. You go straight to the judge's office, the district attorney's office, say, hey, I got this problem. Here's my police report, and they'll give you that TRO. But I always say that piece of paper doesn't stop a bullet.
Right.
Anyway, even after she got the order granted, she still had concerns. And Simmons, her friend, said she knew how he was, and it was just a paper, just like I told y'all. Because of her fears, Simmons said Rodriguez began working at William Wiley Elementary School so she could keep an eye on her son, the same one that saw her murdered. It's not clear if Rodriguez had expressed her concerns to the school, and she had been working there since September of 2022 as a parent/educator. So it just goes on, y'all, that, of course, our district has suffered a profound loss at the passing of Amber Rodriguez, a remarkable paraeducator. Our deepest condolences go to the families. That's what the school system said. Now, Simmons said Rodriguez's family is devastated.
I can only imagine.
Said this poor family, they tried everything to stay safe from him, and so many systems failed this family, she said, crying. At the time of the killing, Huzar was under conditional freedom after he was accused of third-degree rape of a child and second-degree rape. This is according to Benton County prosecutor. And according to the court filings, 2 teenagers went to the police in early February after a 17-year-old girl told officers that she woke up to Huzar performing oral sex on her 16-year-old friend who had passed out after the 3 had been drinking alcohol.
That's disgusting.
Right? The filing alleged that Huzar, a former officer with the Yakima Police Department in Washington, and the 17-year-old have a child in common and met while he was employed as a resource officer at a middle school. He's there to protect them, and he's grooming them, right? At the Wednesday's news conference, authorities identified the 17-year-old as Angelica Santos and said she was found dead at the residence in West Richland. And police described her and Huzar's girlfriend and said she was the mother of his 1-year-old boy that Huzar had kidnapped on Monday. So now she's 17, and we have her picture too. She's 17, and she's got a 1-year-old baby. That's rape in any state.
Absolutely.
It's at least 16, probably 15 and a half. But the child was recovered safe from Huzar, who was 39 years old. But he led Oregon state troopers on a pursuit that ended with him losing control of his vehicle and hitting the median. And he fatally shot himself in the head as troopers contacted his vehicle. So, probably the best thing he ever did.
Coward way out, though.
Yeah.
Just because he is a coward.
Yeah.
Was
you're
a
police
coward.
officer.
Yeah.
Or you're supposed to be a police officer.
Yeah.
You need to be use your own pistol. But anyway, it goes on, y'all, talking about how Huzar met Angelica while he was employed as a resource officer. And this was her mother, Tiffany Penzola, said the relationship didn't begin until about 2.5 years ago. Now, she's 17, so that's 14 and a half years old, y'all, when Angelica was a freshman in high school. And he was Penzola said her daughter kept details about the relationship, like Huzar's age and his real name, a secret in the beginning. And it wasn't until Angelica's son was about 6 months old that the family learned the truth. Wow. The deputies having concerns, Penzola said the relationship was really good at first. Things started slowly going downhill after his February arrest. And they got a picture of her with the baby. So they said Huzar became controlling. And when Angelica was around her family, he would make her wear an Apple AirPod with him on the phone. She said he wanted to listen to her conversations to make sure she wasn't saying anything negative about him or disclosing details about the rape case, right? 2 days before her death, Penzola, the mom, said Huzar became angry when her daughter refused to let him eavesdrop on a conversation she was having with her grandmother. That made him mad. He called her at least a minimum of 20 times back to back because she wasn't answering his calls. And she said, I was like, are you sure it's a good idea for you to go home? And she goes, no, I talked to him and he's still mad, but he's not mad where he'll do anything. Well, throughout the relationship, Angelica had tried to distance herself from Huzar, her mother said, but the teen struggled with the idea of breaking up her family. Remember, they had the baby together. She said this vision for her son, that he had this perfect little family, she explained. And so as much as she was not okay with everything, she wanted to be able to give her son everything she didn't have. So she put up with a lot of things were not okay. The family tried to intervene, and Angelica's grandmother had been trying to find resources that could help at the time that she was killed. He had her so brainwashed into believing so much stuff that wasn't real, is what her mom said. He had her believing that they were going to be the perfect family, and he got her out of Yakima into a better living environment and a better place to raise the baby. So she was with him, but she was hesitant at the same time. Yeah. And it just goes on and on. It's such a horrible, horrible tragedy. Kills an ex-wife and kills a 17-year-old, the mother of his baby. But actually killed mothers of both his kids.
Yeah.
And he's got rape charges and whatever the fuck. Fuck him.
Oh, he's sitting in hell.
Fires of hell burn a little bit brighter right when he ate that bullet.
Disgusting. That's about as bad as it gets.
I mean, it's just
in
crazy.
my opinion.
Yeah. Who did that dude's polygraph for his pre-employment?
Yeah.
Who did that dude's psychological test?
Horrible.
I don't know.
Well, we're gonna go to Miami.
Miami.
You could probably name The Rock.
Played
football.
Miami. Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith.
The played for Miami, right?
Well, he was with Florida.
Oh, was Florida? You're right.
Guy.
So it was. Let's go back. Wide receivers for Dallas Cowboys that did all the cocaine. Michael Irvin.
Oh yeah, he was. That was when it was the youth.
So check this out. Shout out to Ryan Dawson, who's from East Louisiana Parish, right down there on Bluff Creek Road, right by Buck Hornsby that you met.
Yeah,
when he came in for the podcast, he is one of the head coaches at Miami University.
Oh wow!
Started this year, he had been in West Virginia before and everything else. And I knew him since he was a little boy. His daddy used to coach me in football.
Well, congratulations to him, and shout out
to Miami.
Back to Miami, and
where Ryan's at.
We're going to tell you a horrible story, but really just unbelievable in how it ends. A Florida man is in custody after police say he drove to a police station with his girlfriend's body in the passenger seat of his SUV and confessed to killing her. Wow. Alexander Rogue, who is 48, is charged with second-degree murder in the fatal shooting of his girlfriend, 44-year-old Yesenia Marquez. He appeared in a Miami courtroom this past week where Judge Mindy Glazer denied him bond. You killed the victim, then driving around the car with her and sending pictures of her lifeless body to people, the judge said. The state may charge it as a first-degree murder. Investigators say Rogue has confessed to killing Marquez and drove to the Florida City Police Station with her body to report what she had done. Officers say the gun used in the crime was found inside the SUV before it was towed away as evidence. Before driving to the station, investigators say Rogue contacted two people, his cousin and Marquez's estranged husband. He reportedly sent both of them the photos of the victim's body, in addition to showing Marquez's husband her body during a video call. Both witnesses called police after Rogue talked to them. His motive remains unclear, and it looks like it's going to be an open and shut deal because they got him confessing to the whole thing and driving up to the police station with the body.
That is bizarre, right?
The texting of the pictures is what really got us cold, man.
That's cold as fuck. And you know what? Florida has the death penalty.
Yeah.
And
they use it.
They're not afraid.
Quite
I was about
often.
to say they're not afraid to execute a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And some people just don't deserve to breathe, bro. I mean, heart goes out to the victims.
I don't know.
And you know, I just sometimes, as long as I've been doing this, over 30 years, I hear shit like that, and I'm just like,
yeah, nothing seems to amaze you. It's just bizarre.
Yeah.
Some of these.
Well, I'm gonna do one more, Jimmy.
All right.
And you know, one of the things that sucks the worst is having to go car shopping. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
I mean, I just about be brother kicked in the nuts, and thankfully I'm blessed.
It's like going to the dentist.
Right. Thankfully I'm blessed now that with Jerry Lane that I can call ahead of time and say, this is what I want, and they'll have it for me and have the paperwork done. Even though they have everything on the table for me and all I got to do is go in and sign it, still takes hours, right? And it's not like I got to get approved and everything else.
Right.
Well, you know what? Some people have a little worse time when they go to get a car than others.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you about this cat. Okay, so there's a car dealership's clerical error led California police to arrest an innocent man at gunpoint in a terrifying mix-up. Driver Jamie Rogers can be seen with his hands in the air on the side of the highway just before a cadre of officers armed with rifles and pistols approach him on dash cam footage. This was by the Orange County Sheriff's Department. The agency told news outlets that they had received reports that he had stolen the vehicle from Car Pro's Kia Huntington Beach and was considered armed and dangerous.
Holy
right?
crap.
And so, this guy, what a bad day he's having. Rogers said he was terrified he was going to die in the ordeal. He said, I'd never had assault rifles just lined up pointing me. So y'all, what really happened, these car things now where you can order the cars online and pick them up and all that stuff. This is what this cat did, right? So at the dealership, they lost some piece of paper. It reportedly had fallen behind a filing cabinet.
Oh, my God.
And so the dealership receives a bill for unpaid tolls, and on the car that this guy got, that this guy bought. So then they lost the piece of paper saying they bought it, so they thought their car was stolen.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So he's just driving down the road, and they got a bolo on it, and the license plate's red, and it says he's armed and dangerous, right? So he said, I don't know what was going on. He recalled the rest. He said, my heart was pounding and my palms were just like dripping sweat, and I wanted to see my family again. That's what was going through my mind. So after about 10 minutes, deputy realized that the car wasn't stolen. But by that point, Rogers had been handcuffed. And Rogers said he has since filed a lawsuit against the car dealership. I would have too. He said this shouldn't have happened, so it was reckless. There was negligence. They are saying that they are just misplaced a sheet of paper when they were moving files around. Rogers' attorney told the news that his client was forced to resign as an athletic trainer at a Catholic high school due to the PTSD from the incident, and he has since shifted to a career in real estate. He's had to reinvent himself, and the attorney said. The problem with these things is an unintentional body movement can lead to death. And they're talking about it on the stop, y'all. And we have the picture of the officers. It's called a felony stop. Anytime you do that, when you approach, you're going to approach tactically. And, you, as far as you know, on the bolo, this cat's armed and dangerous.
Yeah.
So I get it, and it's a bad thing. Make sure you got all your paperwork signed, even though they have that shit up. You got to sign 14,000 forms. And I took my dad recently to Jackson, Mississippi, to get a car from my mom. Holy shit! And my dad, being an old attorney, every piece of paper they put in front of you, he was like, "I'm not signing that." I'm like, Dad, this protects you. So y'all. Everybody likes to drive off in a new car, but nobody likes to go to a car dealership. But make sure they take care of you.
These type of things, similar incidents happen. I mean, we've done stories on this show where the police bust in the wrong house.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I mean, wow, that's not good.
I've seen it.
But I mean, everybody's human, and mistakes do happen.
Mistakes do happen, but thank God this dude didn't get killed. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts to spark joy, wonder, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Hey, y'all, I ordered a super cool piece. It's a candle with a sculpture of LSU's Tiger Stadium on top of it. And each officially licensed laser-cut wooden replica features up to 4 layers of detail, creating a bird's eye view of a specific football field, seating section, and more. And every label includes your stadium's name, the team's logo, and school location. And it has a coconut, soy, vegan wax infused with sandalwood smell that creates tailgates and touchdown scent profile, reminiscent of game day. It's invigorating like fresh cut grass and nostalgic like smoke from a pre-game grill, and calming like the crisp autumn air of a new semester on campus. Y'all, I love it. I have it at the base of my TV, and I'm ready to watch the Tigers play on Saturday night, right? Uncommon Goods. Look, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. From holiday host and hostess gift to the coolest finds for kids to hits for everyone from the book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selections you can just find anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/RLRC. That's uncommongoods.com/RLRC for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
Hey, y'all, let me tell you about Gobble. All Gobble meal kits are pre-prepped. That means less work for you and less waste in your kitchen. Their meal kits include everything you need so you can save time at the store or just skip that trip entirely. I got the box in and I had 3 different meals. I had a Kung Pao chicken, crispy fish tacos, and a beef bourguignon, however you say it. But let me tell you about the classic beef bourguignon. Look, it came with beef pot roast and a beef broth concentrate, red wine demi-glaze, cremini mushrooms, cipollone onions, mashed potatoes, baby carrots, and rosemary thyme butter. It was so easy to make. Literally like 15 minutes it took Cindy. And let me tell you something, and all the dishes were fire, but this thing was like a taste explosion in my mouth. It's just unreal. We've got to spend more time together and more time doing the things we love because everything came in this one single box right to my door. So see what a difference Gobble will make for your household. Right now, they're offering my listeners a fantastic limited time deal. You get $120 off across 4 boxes plus free shipping and free cookies. And let me tell you, those cookies, I ate one that was sin baked and it was delicious. Go to gobble.com/reallife. That's GOBBLE.com/real-life for $120 off your first 4 boxes. This offer is not available on the home site, so don't miss out. This is genius. It's taste explosions in your mouth like you never had.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's time for Kinky Crimes for Monday.
Yes.
The last Monday in April. Y'all, this is going to be totally different than what I normally do in BDSM, right?
Yeah.
50 Shades of Grey. I never watched it, never read the books, but I know every female in the world evidently did. And that's, I heard.
I know my wife did.
I heard about it and stuff. You know, takes all kinds to make it. You know, some people like to get tied up and whipped and all that shit. And there's a big industry for that. I'm personally not into being whipped and all that. But let me tell you about the legality of BDSM, just in case you want to go out there and get a little freaky deaky. But the criminalization of consensual BDSM practices is usually not with explicit reference to just BDSM, but results from the fact that such behavior as spanking or cuffing someone could be considered a breach of personal rights. You wouldn't think that you'd get in trouble for this shit, which in principle constitutes a criminal offense. Now in Germany, y'all, if you're going to Germany, Netherlands, Japan, or Scandinavia, such behavior is legal in principle, right? But in Austria, the legal status is not clear. While in Switzerland, some BDSM practices can be considered criminal. Particular incidents like the U.S. scandal of People versus Jovanovic and the British Operation Spanner demonstrate the degree to which the difficult gray areas can pose a problem for individuals and authorities involved, and the importance of knowing the legal status of the right of consent in the state. Basically, what they're saying is, people, I hate to even go on this point, but my point I'm trying to get across is, if you're going to do it, don't just, if you're dating someone, don't just tie them up. You're in the bed making out and they reach out the arm. Don't just put a cuff on them and slam it to the board. And, we've done stories like this before. If you just spring it upon your partner and you whipping that ass and they don't like it, talk about it ahead of time. Yeah. Have a safe word. That way the cops, remember the story I did a couple weeks ago that the cops heard the people report the noise next door, and the guy opens the door and he's butt naked, and the she's handcuffed to the chair, butt naked, and but they can send it.
Yes,
right. But you got to get permission.
You got to get permission.
Right? Get permission, or you ask to be going down.
That's it.
For a kinky crime.
That is kinky. Whatever.
That's public service warning. Kinky crime.
A little public service message. You get it all here.
Get it all.
Real life, real crime.
Laying it out. So I don't know about all that.
All right. Well, I can't say I don't know all about
it. Well, we're not. I wasn't trying to put you on spot.
No, it's fine.
You're turning red, bro. But I'm sure you have a someone.
Safe word?
Safe word. That's exactly what I was going to say. Anyway.
All right. Any final thoughts?
I just love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. Please continue to like and share, and go leave Jim and I a review on Apple iTunes if you're so inclined. We would appreciate it, and just love y'all.
That's right. And we want to shout out, of course, as Woody said, we pre-record these, and Shane is sitting in here with us right now, and he's been just listening and as attentive as you can ever get.
Every year for the Crew Bashes, the McLaurin Whitetail Adventures, they donate so much, and so many people have got to go up for the Lopa hunts and all that. And I got to meet so many amazing lifers who, one of them was in the crowd. The mom was on the stage, Missy. That her son was the hero that died, and the boy, Reese, that's right, and the boy was in the crowd that received it. And then I got Jacob and Shane and McLaurin donated a trip. It was whitetail. It was whitetail this season. I went up, and so the Missy Jewel, it was there with her son, her son Jack that's still alive, and then the mama and the son who are from the Barry, New Iberia, the son that received kidneys, a kidney from him, came up and hunted, and I got to sit in the blind and guide this young man who was alive because of that. But all because McLaurin Whitetail Adventures put it together, and we appreciate y'all.
That's right.
And my brother from another mother. And
absolutely. Best hunting in Wisconsin.
Yeah, and beautiful place. But don't tell everybody because I don't want anybody to know. That's right.
Woody wants to keep all the deer for himself.
We'll keep all of Wisconsin to myself.
All right. Well, look, one last thing. Check out Bloody Angola. We have an amazing episode. We don't do a whole lot of interviews, so when we do them, they turn out really fire. This one is one you're going to want to hear.
Really special guy.
Yeah, really special guy. Yeah. And so check that out if you haven't done so already. And until next time, I'm Jim Chapman.
And I'm Woody Everton,
your host of Real Life, Real Crime Daily. Peace.